Hey, I'm Joe, co-founder and CEO of SuperDemo. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've built 2 companies to over $3 million in ARR now.
And I'm Akash. I'm the founder and CEO of Windley, where we cure allergies. I went through Y Combinator in 2021. I also run a founders club here in New York City. And what we're doing today is we're reviewing and roasting YC applications with the goal of making sure that these founders put their best foot forward and go on to build the incredible companies we know they can build. Let's get into it.
Today, we're diving into Karma Labs, a startup pitching itself as an AI-native PR agency for AI search, starting with Reddit. On paper, it sounds pretty compelling. A founder credibility, early revenue, a clear wedge, and a strong narrative where discovery is headed. In this video, we'll give the founder a chance to pitch themselves, ask the tougher questions underneath the story, and then break down the application afterwards. Let's dive in.
I'm originally from Tokyo, Japan. Moved to the States about 5 years ago. I first moved to San Francisco, I was there for 2 years, and then moved to New York about 3 years ago. My background is AI and neuroscience. Back in Japan, I studied at Japan's top AI research lab, and my research team back then was around decoding inner speech, the type of speech that you don't speak, from EEG using a deep learning model. So it was before ChatGPT. That's my background. I started this company about 4 years ago back in San Francisco. Honestly, the first 1 or 2 years, I was I didn't have any, I didn't know what I was doing. So many mistakes and pivots. But the first product was actually more about neuroscience. So basically, the idea was we asked our users to use brain-computer interfaces, and then ask them to record their brainwaves using meditation. And then in exchange of their brain data, we gave them crypto or monetary incentives. So that was our first product. Obviously failed terribly, and then pivoted to LifeStack, which is more like a calendar. In one layer, it's a calendar app, but the edges, it uses data from wearable devices like Oura Ring, Apple Watch, Fitbit, and then based on your biosignal data, it optimizes your daily schedule as a consumer productivity app. It's been all right. I mean, we got some users and traction. But one thing that we realized along the way was we actually heavily used Reddit for the first few thousand users, and then we know how to talk to people on Reddit, and then what people don't like. So and then we have this playbook, and then we have our own team for this Reddit marketing, and then we told this to other founders, and then they also had some problems with Reddit. It's so hard to crack. So eventually we started helping out other companies on Reddit marketing. So yeah, that's now what we're doing and then that's what we're trying to apply with to YC. So yeah.
Akash, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the first question I would ask now is, I think it's very important to know what, VCs don't invest in anything that's not going to become at least $1 billion company. And I don't know if posting on Reddit is a $1 billion company right there. So what's the $1 billion vision of your company, Karma Labs?
Yeah, so I would say AEO is the key for us. So even for us, we started posting on Reddit, and we got some users from direct traffic. But eventually we realized that people are also coming from ChatGPT because we were actively present on Reddit. So with this Karma Labs, we're trying to fine-tune this towards more AEO side, and I think that's the huge opportunity, because people these days are not Googling anymore. People are asking LLMs, obviously, so we're going to be able to take this SEO pie, and I think that's going to be pretty big. Yeah.
Got it. And now you're looking at it from a VC's lens. Obviously, they're looking for winners, right? They're looking for winners, billion-dollar outcomes, like Akash mentioned. And they're also trying to answer the why now question, right? LLMs, visibility, AEO, these are problems and these are opportunities that have been emerging probably since 2023, 2024, when ChatGPT was starting to come up. And there have been a lot of companies trying to take up the market, have raised a lot of money, and have a lot of kind of gunpowder. So in response to that, why is Karma Labs best equipped to kind of take on this market against the incumbents?
So I guess there's two questions, why now and why us? In terms of why now, it's true, there's a few other companies working on this AEO stuff. Most of them were focused on just visualizing AEO, what's working, what's not working. But when it comes to actually creating the content, I believe, especially the last few months, agents have evolved so much. Now that it's actually time for us to build very human-like and very meaningful agents that can create content for AEO. So that's why that's the answer for why now. In terms of why us, we've been, like I said, we've been using Reddit for like years, and then what's working, what's not, and then we especially when it comes to Reddit, like authenticity is really the key. Like you have to really engage with real users. We know the language, we know how to interact with those people. So yeah, that's I believe what I believe the strong why us. So
Yeah, and not to hog the mic here, gosh, but just a few follow-on questions.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I felt was missing from your application was that exact answer, right? Explaining why now and why us. I don't think you talked about your profile when you introduced yourself. That was actually very impressive. You working in one of the biggest super intelligence labs in Tokyo. I would try to interweave that all throughout your application to show that you are a domain expert and not just an SEO agency owner that had a company that was going downhill and decided to pivot to LLMs or AEO. That doesn't come off very strongly in the application itself. And the other answer that you just spoke about that didn't come across in the application is this whole notion of like owning the stack, owning the vertical stack, owning the work and selling the work. I think a lot of VCs are talking about that nowadays of, software is dead or software is not actually what is valuable. It's the outcomes and the outputs that are valuable. So differentiating yourselves and showing that you're owning the work and you have the right expertise and the credentials to do this differently than a thin wrapper, like some of the companies that have raised a lot of money. I think that's one way you can show that, hey, this is a little bit more defensible, this is a little bit more different than what has been proven out in the market so far.
That makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, because the AEO space is like there's billions of dollars going into there, and like Profound, AirOps, there's a ton. I think your angle of like how to get posts onto Reddit, we work with the client or you work with your own influencers. I think that makes a lot of sense. For me, the bridge between, for me, when I think of like why would an investor invest, it has to if PR is $100 billion industry right now, you need at least 1% of that industry, right? And so there's this tension that I'm feeling from, I don't quite get the journey from where you are today to how you get like a PR contract from Apple for like, $10 million. And so that's kind of the, like, I think that journey needs to become more explicit and clear because, you're able to like help shape perception. Like PR is shaping perception, right? And so you're able to help shape perception in small online communities. How do you get from like Reddit and, I think it makes sense. How do I put this? Like the outcome of what you're doing is your like ChatGPT changes who it suggests. And that is something that people will pay for. So now there's a lot more demand for what you're doing. But how do you actually what you're doing, how do you get that through? And how do you get to the point where how to get, like if someone comes to you, you're like, I know how to get this person onto the 9 publications, which are always cited for, I don't know, best allergy doctor in New York City.
Yeah.
And so that journey is kind of like, I understand there's a lot of demand, but the like execution and kind of the growth, not the growth path, but like the execution path is still unknown to me. And I didn't really see clarity of thought on that in your YC application.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I have some still kind of vague ideas. It's definitely still early. I need to iron this out. But one thing that I've been thinking is, for example, if we want to expand into blogs or mediums, maybe we can cite those links directly inside Reddit, and then kind of do this cross backlinking stuff. And then also another thing that we're looking into YouTube. So because we've already worked with some YouTubers, so maybe we could use YouTube and then just create this backlinks between each platform. Might be the way that we were gonna take. But yeah, it's still I still have to think a little more on that.
Yeah. But I think just instead of getting into the weeds here now of the different types of channels and tactics that you're going to go after, which are useful for you to actually build a business, but that's not what we're doing, right? We're not building a business plan or a playbook of getting you to $1 million, $2 million in ARR. We're trying to build a playbook of how do you convince investors to give you money, right? And I think that's a fundamentally different game that we need to play. And to me, this reads more like something you would pitch to a client as a proof point, and I'm sold, right? I mean, reading it, I'm like, I'm sold. Okay, how do I get started? To an investor, I think there needs to be more emphasis on like the grander outcome, right? So like start with, we are building the world's first $1 billion AI PR agency, right? Or something along those lines, right? And work backwards. These are our credentials and the reason why we're qualified to tackle this problem. This is why this is a big enough problem for you to take a bet on, right? Because VCs need to invest in home runs, right? Not singles and doubles. And working backwards, show the traction, the initial traction that you've built up so far that can bubble up to the greater, objectives and the mission that you've set for yourself. When I read this, you are getting down a little bit too into the nitty gritty and the details of how the business runs and how you build a company. They don't care about that, right? They care about, can this be $1 billion company? What is their ambition? All the stuff in between, it's going to be like a winding path anyways. You don't need to tell them how you get there, right? That's true. Just tell them the vision.
Sounds good. Thanks.
No, yeah, and I think like actually that goes to the next point on like, I think there's basically 3 things that at any given time make someone like make a startup investable, like a seed stage startup, and you need to know what those 3 things are. And almost inevitably, one of them should be market is big enough. Either the market is already big or the market is growing, and then the other one should be like the founder has unique access. And then the third one needs to be traction or like team or something different along those lines. And so when I think about, and then you want to take those 3 things and you want to make sure they're repeated throughout your application, because basically what you want the investor to think is, if I put $500K into this, what is the bet that I'm taking? And for Karma Labs now, I mean, I think what's really clear is like, there's something really compelling with like, hey, we had to do this for our own consumer product. We had to shape public perception. And then we realized that was actually a more compelling problem than the product we were working on. And then we got people paying us to help them shape public perception. Yeah. I think that already is like a good, that's a good bullet point. I think PR is already really big. That's a pretty compelling bullet point. Yeah. What else we got here, Joe? What might that last bullet point be where it's like, this is the moment?
Well, no, I think I'm just going to go back to like the piece about like owning the work, right? We are going to be like the $1 billion agency. And I would, by overly fixating on LLMs and AEO, I think you do yourself a disservice and frankly make it harder for people to invest in you, because investors at a poker table have already laid down their chips, right? In like different companies, the Profounds, I don't know what all the companies, there's way too many.
That's actually
right?
True.
But they've like put their bets. And if you're saying we're just another one, they're not going to want to go to battle against somebody with like a shit ton of gunpowder, right, on their boat. But if you follow it with the right angle and say, we're going after this like PR space that the Nikes and the Oracles and the Apples of the world spend billions of dollars on, it's a more compelling narrative. And again, you could get there through Reddit and get there through different tactics, not too dissimilar from what you're doing right now. But immediately you're painting yourself as a different type of company, and painting a different story than something that has already been funded and already exists to a certain extent, right? Unless you can prove that, hey, we're gonna do the same thing, but we do it 90% cheaper or 100% faster. Then you say, okay, then we have a case. But if we're 1 of 10. It's harder.
It's a lot harder.
It's
just a lot harder for someone, and especially the hard part is like, investors like make decisions, right? Like they're a VC, their whole point is to just like, they think they're supposed to know their shit. And so they're going to be like, I already have a horse I'm backing. Why would I, and that horse is making money.
Yeah.
Why would I risk that by seeding someone else? Whereas if you're PR, you're not competitive. So this is interesting. It's like the same product, but we're just dressing it up differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, is it a rap or is it a Wiro?
Yeah. And this is purely coming from the angle of we are trying to get funded, right? We are trying to like get our YC application through the door.
Yeah, makes sense. Thanks.
Yeah, this is all to get VC dollars. This is not necessarily feedback on business strategy. Cool, man.
Awesome.
But now what you can do is you can take this. So I always think the best way to fill out, like to start fundraising or start a sales process or whatever, you get everything out. Then you kind of see, okay, I got the whole fridge out. What meal can I make from this? And then you say, okay, maybe I don't need I don't need tomato sauce if I'm making sushi. We're gonna leave that on the side. This is a very bad metaphor. I'm losing it.
You don't like tomato on sushi? I do. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe it's a thing. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Like, it's good you got everything out, but now you've kind of, like, even from this conversation, I'm seeing, like, because the PR stuff, you know what's really interesting with the PR stuff, something you've written in here is you were a part of a media acquisition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. That's, like, super valuable for a PR founder. Does that make sense?
You should plant that all across your application.
Like, that's
right?
crazy.
Splatter it.
Like, I started a publication that then got sold.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my gosh, that is juice. You gotta squeeze that orange.
That's very compelling. And I think that's a really good point. I think throughout your application, you working at, like, I don't know, like an AI lab and you getting acquired through media, those are really, really pertinent points to, like a grand $1 billion vision, right? That VCs would want you to have. And don't just assume that you writing that once in the beginning, like, summary is enough for them to, like, retain that information as they're glazing through and reading the rest. Like, plug that in everywhere throughout the different, you know what I mean? Like,
well,
make sure that they know, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say specifically for the YC application, you cannot assume that they're going to read every single question. So you need to make sure the message you want to get out is in every single question.
Yeah. Okay. See, I read the application. I didn't even know that you got acquired. Like, that's the thing, right? And it's, we're going to miss details, right? But if you hammer that home 5 times, then I'm going to know, right?
Yeah, it's actually funny because when I actually, like, the first version, I wrote this with ChatGPT or like Claude, and then, like, it repeatedly, like, mentioned that, so I intentionally removed all of these because I didn't want to have anything overlapping. But yeah, okay, I will definitely, like, change.
So the framework I would say is, like, you got everything out. Now think about, like, what makes you most investable. Like, you've gotten an acquisition in media before, it's a huge market. And you're uniquely suited to build this because you were doing it yourself for another product. Those 3 things should be repeated over and over. Like, now that you know what you want your message to be, you answer the question, but you kind of leave it in there, right? I like thinking of politicians. Man, you could ask them any question and they will get their talking points in, okay? They'll get their talking points in. And so you kind of got to be that way too. And it doesn't even matter, like, what side you're on with the politicians. They will always say what they want to say. And I think that's, like, very important because otherwise, like, it's very hard to be remembered. And so you gotta do that repetition.
It's almost you need to be more American, right? Like, you as an immigrant, you're a little bit more passive. I'm Korean,
he can say that.
Canadian,
He's also an immigrant.
Korean and Canadian. We're often very polite, right? And we're too satisfied with finishing third, right? And not gloating about ourselves, right? But this is your moment to somewhat gloat about yourself and reinforce why you're going to be the winner.
Do. You got to go out. You got to buy a cowboy hat. You got to rewrite the application wearing the cowboy hat.
Yes.
Okay.
I want cowboy now.
I want cowboy now.
He's going to come to our next happy hour being like, boy, howdy. Actually, I do think I say it as a joke, but sometimes it does help me to get out of my own headspace, either going to a new location or putting on different clothes and, like, saying, I am now going through this application as a different persona. Yeah. So I like your framing of, like, American, be a Silicon Valley bombastic.
A little bit more brash,
be Adam Newman.
Yeah, no, totally.
Batman,
it works, right? It works.
He's very successful.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate this, because most of my friends are Japanese founders, so, like, whenever, like, I have them review my application, like, it's all, like, Japanese. But yeah, I mean, this is really, I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Sweet. Okay, thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you and good luck.
Okay. Thank you.